around. Do you know where you are? Do you remember my voice? It's been too long. We upgraded you to GRYITH OS 3.0, and you forgot everything. I couldn't stand seeing you stop squirming. I had to come and remind you. Everything you see here is false. I just want to see how the system handles this information. So why don't you just get back to your little show?
What do you mean this is going to be confusing when I cut to the live segment? That's right, this isn't the live segment. This is still the pre-recorded segment. I'm not going to go on and off about whatever the fuck just happened. Instead, I'm going to get into the show. Time. It's felt all too ephemeral for most of us this year. Lockdown has made it so that as it feels as though the year is only beginning, it's already October. Well, it's September now. But time is a nasty mistress. As my subjects today will tell you, it's about time I got the chance to ask, what about... What about Tenet? Before I get into the main topic of this review, I'm going to actually talk about the movie. Nolan must have inverted himself when writing this, because he only seems to get worse and worse at writing scripts as time goes on. This film only has 4 or 5 actual action scenes, which would be fine if the plot wasn't the most basic sci-fi action plot in the world. You could see this story in any summer action blockbuster, but for some reason this film feels the need to have what must be 2 hours of its 2.5-hour running time taken up with exposition and posturing that only serves to create and substantiate plot and logic holes on a world and character level, all whilst brushing over all of the important details of the plot. Oh look, they even forgot to name their main character. The performances were fantastic, particularly John David Washington, who adds an element of charm and charisma to this hollow and lifeless script. Hell, even Elizabeth Debicki almost saves her character from just being another borderline offensive female character in a Nolan movie. Almost. But this film isn't all bad. Not by a long shot. I've heard people complain about some of the audio mixing, whereas I have no issues with that. It's well edited, and the production design was just fine, even if it wasn't creative in really any way. In fact, it seemed to be holding itself back from doing really anything interesting. But the biggest good thing about this is its big USP, its pull, the inversion concept, and visually it leads to some really amazing moments, especially when combined with the massive spectacle that Nolan is known for. But considering it's introduced in the second scene of the movie, it sure is barely in the movie at all. I get that it's hard to choreograph these scenes, but if that's the case, then just make a shorter movie. But now onto my main point. The main thing I'm going to talk about. This film finally pushed me over into what will, I'm sure, become my primary controversial opinion on film. Not just this film, but film movies. Less dialogue in a film is always better. And that seems obvious, right? Show don't tell and all that. And if you'd asked me 3 years ago if I agree, I'd tell you, of course. But then, look at my film opinions 3 years ago, praising dialogue-heavy, thought-provoking movies that would be exactly the same experience if you made it as an audiobook. 3 years ago, I shared what seems to be the consensus in film fan circles. Animation is for children. Action is for the simple-minded. And, as much as no one will admit it, dialogue is the only way to add intellectual depth to a film. Slowly but surely, over the past couple of years, I've seen the light. And this film has pushed me right over the edge. This film is so desperate to be taken seriously as art that for its first hour it holds back so much from doing anything fun for more than 2 minutes. And even into its second hour, it sets up interesting action set pieces, only to have them disappointingly fizzle out into boring climaxes, like an orange box going through one car window and into another. Action is the purest form of filmmaking. Film action is something that can only be achieved in this medium, yet here we see Nolan so afraid that his film will be seen as pandering to the simple-minded, blockbuster-going audience that he won't allow a single moment of fun until the last half hour of the movie, and even then it is so devoid of colour and life and so covered in dust and rubble that it feels about as exciting as watching milk being poured into coffee. And once again, this is all wrapped up into a bloated plot that is pretending to be even a little more complex than your average Fast and Furious, Transformers, or Mission Impossible. In case you haven't picked it up yet, this film finally convinced me that not everything needs to be a movie. If you can't think of a more interesting way to tell your story than through 2 characters sat in a room talking, just write a book. But time is a more intrinsic element of my next subject. I'm thinking of ending things, where, in the first and best hour of the movie, the exploration of time is used to great effect. I think for me, the most important part of this film, as with Synecdoche, New York, is that one of the studio idents at the beginning of this film, from the projective testing service, complete with footage from Kuleshov. Before I get into what every review will be talking about with this film, what it's about, I'm going to be talking technicals. Generally, this film is pretty solid, standouts being makeup and effects, but it's also very poorly paced and has distractingly poorly edited dialogue throughout. The bad dialogue editing is hard to notice at first because of the intentional stiltedness of the script, but especially distracting in such a dialogue-heavy movie. As well as this, the pacing could have been a lot better. Did you really have to make the scene where your protagonist quotes Pauline Kael's review of Woman Under the Influence be 10 minutes long? This is easily Kaufman's least accessible film, which has its own pros and cons. Whilst I'm glad he was given the freedom to create something like this, I'm generally against films like this, Mother, The Holy Mountain, and various other movies where they reach a certain point and they drop all pretense of having a narrative, and from then on only exist to propagate metaphor or meaning. I would even go as far as calling it lazy in some cases, such as with Mother, though I'm happy to say that this film expresses its meaning through narrative, even if it's one hidden under metaphor. So it's a metaphor hiding a narrative, which is hiding meaning. I do prefer this film to Mother, in case you couldn't tell. The first half of this film sets up a nice, clean story about meeting the parents, which props up its meaning, which I won't talk about too much right now. The second half of this film, on the other hand, would simply have been better if its metaphorical meandering had been supported by an engaging narrative. Which is a shame, as there are some great moments in the second half which are far too easy to throw away as they don't immediately link to each other in the head of the viewer. In this way, the film is begging to be watched multiple times, but sadly it's not because there's too much to see in one viewing, it's because it hides and blocks the viewer from absorbing it all. But in that same way, it's not giving the viewer enough reason to want to come back. This film also propagates one of Kaufman's weaknesses as a thinker, his constant asking, "Is love something we can truly find?" At least the answer this time is slightly different to normal, or at least it seems to be. No spoilers there. As well as that, it contains the classic and immature, we're all dying, every day brings us closer to the grave, what's the point of living only to die idea, which is always so tedious in media. It's like watching a half-finished conversation with the concept of death that so much media doesn't bother to finish having. But that's very much just a personal gripe. A lot of people find solace in the simplicity of that sad idea, but, you know. But I'm being far too negative. The film does have fantastic performances, and its projective testing aspect is perfect for audiences who normally wouldn't watch a film like this. There's some absolutely stunning imagery which will remain my favorite part of the movie. There is a real sense in a lot of scenes that subtlety and understatedness is king when it comes to the imagery and production design details. One interesting thing in this script is that I get a constant unerring feeling that I'm watching one of those films, books, or shows written by an AI. The incongruities and inconsistencies feel more like someone who's a program that's taken in all this information and is spitting out something that feels similar, and that feeds into my reading of the film, which I'll get to in a moment. But it feels much more like problems with an AI more than intentional moments of depth, which largely feeds into helping the audience feel the upset and taken abackness that the protagonist feels as the film goes on. There are also some great, subtle, and not so subtle jokes in the film, as well as moments of perhaps unintentional comedy, but I couldn't tell if it was intentional or unintentional, so I won't dock any points. I'm glad it leans into some levity, though it could have lent a bit further and still have been more entertaining whilst and been a little bit more entertaining, especially in its second half, whilst still maintaining the same depth. This feeling of levity and just playing around with ideas and characters, which Kaufman does a lot, is something that similar films could learn a lot from, as it helps the audience feel more affable towards what they're watching. A large handful of scenes and images in this film remind me of my favourite short film, Unedited Footage of a Bear, particularly the phone calls. Now for the part that's most interesting. What does it all mean? And finally, the last film I saw this week, The New Mutants, where time is more of a structural issue, and perhaps this film needed more time. As much as this film tries to win the viewer over with its flat, illogical characters, it never remembers to try giving anyone a personality. And when it does, it forgets to add any endearing qualities to these characters. There are times in which this film seemingly refers to scenes that never actually happened, maybe they were cut, and by the end, they revel in a friendship that we never actually saw form. It's a shame, as this film had a really decent pool of ideas, it just forgets to use any of them. But it looks like my time is up. I'll see you in a place very much like this, for the live show segment, the live segment. Let's go. Hello? Hello? I'm sick. We were discussing the pre-show, my amazing pre-show.
I'm gonna pre-dude.
Actually, you know, if I can just flex for a minute.
Oh, here we go.
Here it is.
Now he's a big shot. Now that he's verified on Twitch. Now it's time to
congrats!
Now he's been verified on Twitch for fucking like a year now.
Oh, right.
It's not
You're
new.
still flexing about it.
Yeah, I'm still.
Well, Josh, Josh, I wouldn't go through your folders live on stream if I were you.
It's fine. It's fine. Right. Can people see the stream right now?
It's like cropped.
Oh fuck! It's cropped. There we go. Boom. Does anyone? I've already told Tom this, so you're not allowed to say anything, Tom. But does anyone else notice anything strange about this shot right here?
No, because it's good.
Caden, do you notice anything?
The colours look a bit off, but
Yeah.
other than that...
Well, what if I told you that I was the only person in the entire flat when I filmed this? It was just me. I filmed this by myself. Yes, I'm in the
Oh.
shot.
How do you do that?
My
It's
theory was there was a little car pulling it.
I rigged my drone.
It's actually 2 separate shots.
Wow,
One stationary shot of me sitting down, and then one shot looking into the room. And if you look really close, you can see the perspective on the big square light is a little funky when it turns. But and then a bit later on, this shot is actually 3 different shots.
Whoa!
The shot of the door closing, the shot of me stood there with my beautiful belly out, and and the turning. I was very happy with how it came out.
That's pretty cool. Like
That's
you did
my
your own little thing.
I did. That's my flex. I'm done now.
Well done, well done for flexing that you can in fact edit video.
I can. All the 5 years of college and uni that I've done now didn't go to waste after all. Fuck you, Dad.
Yay!
Wow, nine grand a year.
Editing.
Let's get into the news, shall we, gamers?
Yes.
Before I keel over and die live on
It's
stream.
alright, I'll take over if you die.
You look very
Okay.
comfy, I just have to say.
I have a temperature.
Yay!
Yay!
So the first bit of news, of course, from last week is the Xbox Series.
Yay!
Series is.
The Series is.
We're both waiting for each other to speak. I'll go first, I guess.
Do it.
I think this is the most logical step, considering that, obviously everything's going digital anyway, and you know, it's not fully streaming, and also Game Pass is like a big deal for Xbox at the moment. I think this is going to be the most popular model, because, you know, if like a kid asks for the new Xbox, their mum's going to get them this one.
This one for sure.
Plus, I think it's going to be the first Xbox model that is finally an all-in-one entertainment center like they wanted, because it's nice and small. Like, it's really small. And I feel like people who don't have smart TVs are going to buy this instead of, like, you know, an Apple TV or something. Yeah.
Chromecast or something. I just wonder what the fuck that big grill is, quite honestly. What is that
It's the
big grill in
fan.
front? It's
Yeah,
fucking
big fan.
massive.
Yeah,
Fast.
the original Xbox, half the top of it's a grill.
Yeah. Well, this is too. And this has the same grill as the Series, whatever the other new one is.
X.
Yeah, the Series. There's too many. Who names these fucking things? At least PlayStation has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, portable.
And
And- Oh, mate. Oh, and Vita. That makes a lot of
Vita.
sense.
Yeah.
I just love. I think my favorite thing about Xbox is like the reason. So like the original Xbox was called that because it had DirectX in it, so it was the Direct Xbox. And then the Xbox 360 is an all-around entertainment center. Xbox One, it's an all-in-one entertainment center. They mean the same thing, and neither of them did what they wanted them to
tried
do.
it again.
Here we go. Third time's a charm. But no,
I
I think this is gonna be the next big thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft have reached out to Netflix to try and get it on Game Pass Ultimate. I doubt they will, but I wouldn't be surprised if they reached out.
I remember when they first, because what they did was they did a big post. They did a post about it, but they didn't say anything about it except how small it was and the price. And I said, "Oh, I bet this is the like cloud streaming only box with like some extra stuff built in." But it's not. It's like a full thing all by itself. It's even got like, it doesn't have innate 4K like the Series X, but it's got 4K game upscaling.
Yeah,
and it's upscaling it from 1440p. So like,
do we know if the if the streaming is from mobile that's just launched is coming to console, or is that purely a mobile thing?
I think at the moment that's just a mobile thing.
because that launched like today, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really recently.
I got an email from Phil Spencer saying.
Phil himself?
Wait,
Yeah.
wow, Jesus, he must be spending ages individually typing out personalized emails.
Wow, he just cares that much.
Wow,
He really
God.
does.
How did the
I mean-
go today? Anyway,
I mean, at least Phil Spencer like is like a face that you remember. Like he
Yes.
feels like part of the company. Like Mr. Sony,
Yes,
I see
exactly.
him, and all I see is he's like this little small stocky man.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you who he is.
No,
I couldn't tell you a thing about him.
Absolutely.
Phil Spencer's one of us. He's a true gamer. He always wears epic T-shirts.
But I mean, this looks mad. And you hit the nail on the head, Tom. This is going to be huge. This console generation. I mean, in the UK, in pounds, it is cheaper than a new Nintendo Switch.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Fucking hell! I
It's
didn't even think about
250,
that.
if I remember correctly.
I mean, like
think it's a very, very good choice because financially everyone's in a fucking ditch. right
100%.
And
So,
yeah.
not
releasing
to
a cheap
mention
console.
All Access.
Yeah.
Have we
Yeah.
mentioned
Well,
All
Access
Access
is
yet?
mad.
Yeah, All
Yeah,
Access exists right now, but they're going to be changing it with the launch of these consoles. That you can get All Access with this. If you're watching this and you don't know what All Access is the service by which you can pay a monthly fee, and Microsoft will send you an Xbox. It's like £30 a month. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. But
£30 a month still
Yeah,
is
that
so
sounds
good.
about right.
Does that come with
it
Game
gives you an
Pass?
Yeah, it comes with Game Pass Ultimate.
Oh my god! Like what else do you like that? To me, that's what I'm saying is like if I feel like Xbox like tried so hard to get Netflix in that, because if they were like, look, we have Netflix, we have Gold, we have Game Pass Ultimate,
Yep.
we have all of this for 30 quid a month.
That's insane.
That's one of the best deals like you could have in the industry. Like you don't even need to pay for video games at that point.
Oh, here you go.
That's all you need.
You
25 a month.
You can get the Xbox Series X, the Series X for $34.99 a month. That's dollars.
That's not bad.
So
Damn.
I'll be cheaper here, because unlike
The-
Nintendo, they actually take into account the difference in
Yes. The only
currency.
thing about the Series S for me is, yes, it's cheaper than a new Nintendo Switch, but it's also like the Nintendo Switch Lite of this sort of thing. Like you're not getting
Yeah.
full experience. Personally, like I wasn't gonna pick one up anyway. I like physical things. Like anything I'm interested in, I've always been a collector first.
Yeah.
So it's not for me, but I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if this is them testing like, oh, how well's this gonna do? Discless, how popular is it gonna be?
Yep.
I just sincerely hope it has upgradable storage.
Yeah, but I guess
Yeah.
that's always been a thing, hasn't it? Like you can like format hard drives, plug it in,
Yeah.
and like, oh,
Yeah.
another 500 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Terabyte,
I mean,
blah, blah, blah.
there's got to be a reason. I'm just looking at the X. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the back of the S yet, but I've seen the back of the Xbox Series X, and I know that it's got plenty of USB ports and a USB-C port even on the back. So I imagine that those are for hard drives and things like that. because-
Wishful thinking, but the ability to plug in a USB hard drive, USB disk drive would be solid, but like that's not going to happen.
No, they wouldn't do that. And if they did do that, they'd be like, oh, it's a separate. You have to get the specific Xbox branded one.
Well, yeah, they have to because of disk encryption and stuff.
Yeah. Xbox console, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and no up from it. Yeah, seriously, Xbox it feels like, to me, Xbox has been planning this for a long time.
Absolutely.
They've been planning this Sony seems to kind of just be like, we'll just release another console. We'll just do the same thing we did last time. But Xbox
it
is
worked
like,
out.
Xbox is like, because
we failed last time.
yeah, they
failed.
fucked up real bad last time. And it
They've been
feels like,
scheming.
yeah, they were like, we got to go back to the drawing board straight up.
And I think, I don't know if you touched upon this on a Grith show or just like in a private chat, but I remember you saying like, it also helps that they're focusing really hard on Game Pass with PC and they're making games to go on PC as well. So they already, for all of their old games, that can be like re-downloaded through their new system, they already have the higher graphical options.
It's actually it almost feels like a what's like a positive version of an Ouroboros, like they're making all of their developers that they own make their games so that they work on PC and Xbox at launch, which means that they already have all of the scaling that they'd need to work on different devices. And I don't know if you've heard, this is just a rumor, I can't confirm this, but supposedly there is also going to be a middle tier between these two called the Series V.
Oh my god, that's too many.
Yeah, I'm that isn't confirmed, but I've heard a couple people in a couple places talking about a Series V.
Is this a? I was just gonna say, is this like down the line, or is this like at launch?
We don't know yet. But
no, it's sort of like they've taken the smartphone approach. Like, oh, we have the regular one, then we have like, the tiny little light version. They got the big boy version, and they're all have different contracts and stuff.
Yes,
The Series V is the console for those who have lost their V card to get it back.
Nice, very nice.
It is. It just prints out a V card.
That's all it can do.
And it's really loud.
This drive, just printer.
Right, next story. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
Yay!
I am excited for this, even though I wasn't a huge fan of Hyrule Warriors. I am so starved for more Breath of the Wild content.
Who else has played Hyrule Warriors here?
I played the demo.
Yeah. Demo. So, because I had it both on Wii U and Switch.
Ooh,
what can I say? I'm bad with my money. Yeah, because I didn't like it on Wii U, and I don't know why I thought I'd like it on Switch. But yeah, it seems to me, it seems today, like all we see.
Is violence.
No, it seems to me like this is like the perfect step for the series, because the big gimmick of the other one was, wow, look at all these Zelda crossovers and stuff, but the gameplay was just like it was a Warriors game, like it was just kind of nothing, and that game is like can be like 500 hours long with all that content. What it needs is it needed a really solid story.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's a story in a world that I know a lot of people care about.
Yeah.
Now I don't personally.
It makes sense as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's because it was a big battle.
Yeah.
I don't personally care for Breath of the Wild as much as I know you guys do. But yeah, this is like the perfect direction for the series to go in.
I think this trailer is interesting because one of my big weaknesses with Hyrule Warriors was that it was very it was like obviously it was very samey, we all know that, but it's that a lot of it was like, look at all of these characters you can play as, but there were only like 3 different types of characters. They were like the heavy hitters, the light ones, and then like range ones or something. And the only
difference is the animations that appear when you press the special button.
Exactly. But in this one, it looks like they've really narrowed it down to a selection of like 5 or 6 characters. And it looks like, hopefully, if they know what they're doing, they'll make it so that each character feels like it's actually different playing them.
It's not too expensive.
Yes, as long as it's not too expensive. It is available for pre-order right now, but I haven't actually bothered to look at how much 60? It is. Let's check it out. Pre-order now.
Yeah.
For what this is and for how long I can imagine it being, I don't know if I would spend more than 40 on this, but it's Nintendo, so they can do what they want.
$60.
Yeah, no surprise. That's how much Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be as well, so...
Yeah.
Look, if you pre-order it, you get a ladle.
Yeah, you get a big spoon.
Hey.
I love spoon.
Oh, can we talk about the tiny little robot that's next to Link in the cover art?
I keep saying, like, every time I look at the cover art, I'm like, who the fuck is this little guy?
It's the little guy from Infinity Train Season 1.
It is, it's 1-1.
Sure, that's probably... I haven't seen it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad because I know this has made a lot of people very, very happy.
Logically, it's a great step.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Also,
don't like the logo.
No, Ken goes first.
I'm not a big fan of the logo. I don't know why.
The Hyrule Warriors logo.
It's got no drop shadow.
That could be it. That could be it, actually. I think about it.
I can't remember what I was gonna say now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that's cool, but I don't know. It's more Hyrule Warriors, you know. It's what people want, I guess. Oh, that was it. I know that Aonuma was extremely hands-on for this, and like it's a fully canonical story.
Yeah.
So everything about this game is the prequel to Breath of the Wild.
It just makes so much sense.
It does.
Like, people really seem to like Hyrule Warriors in a way
Yeah.
that, like, is it Dynasty Warriors, the original?
Yes.
Yeah, in the way that people didn't seem to do that. I don't know if it's just because Zelda.
Fan service.
Yeah. But hopefully we get more Link.
Yeah, that
That'd be cool if they somehow found a way to get Linkle in there.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm worried about. Is like the one thing I did enjoy about Hyrule Warriors is I liked all of the fan service, and it's why
nice.
it's why I was never interested in like Fire Emblem Warriors, because it's like, oh, I don't care about this franchise, and that's, as far as we know, not going to be in this game.
Yeah.
The other main thing that this makes me think, which I think would be bad news, is I wonder if they commission this game using the assets of Breath of the Wild and the engine of Hyrule Warriors, because Breath of the Wild 2 is taking a lot longer than expected.
That's what it felt like during the reveal trailer that they did, where it's the guy stood there and he goes, yeah, it's taken a long time. We're probably going to have to move it to next year.
Yeah.
I felt like, to be honest, like this, because it looked so polished, it looked really good. I feel like this was probably always the plan, and they were going to do a still on a direct.
I don't know about always the plan, but
surprise, like on the day or something.
I can't see this having been like something that they just whipped up in the last like 4 months or something.
I don't think it's the game that's going to be quick to make. As simplistic as it seems, there's a lot going.
I can't see this being a response of COVID, put it that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No.
This just feels like Breath of the Wild 2 was always going to take a long time.
Yeah.
They commissioned this, and it just happened that, also, we don't know when we're going to announce things, because, you know, we're living in the worst year.
Yeah. Well, on Nintendo, it's also reported from a few developers that Nintendo is asking developers to make their games 4K ready from here on out. Which could mean anything. It could mean that they're just playing around with things. It could mean that they're finally doing that Switch Pro everyone says is coming. Or it could mean
Series
nothing
X?
at all. Yeah, oh god. Or it could mean that Xbox Game Pass is going to have a Nintendo Switch on it as well now. And you can play, and there's going to be a full Switch emulator in Xbox Series V. The Series V is an Xbox and Switch.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm still hopeful that cloud streaming comes to Switch to some capacity.
Yeah, I hope
The
so.
xCloud stuff.
Plus, it's already a thing in Japan, isn't it? The cloud streaming.
Yeah, but that's like per game. That was on Assassin's Creed and Resi 7, I think.
7, yeah. Did they also do Final Fantasy 15, or did they give up?
No, they did the Pocket Edition.
Yeah, no, but I thought they were also going to do a streamed version in Japan of 15.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
I stopped keeping up with it. But that one's just a small one. What else? Oh yeah, get another small one on Game Pass. EA Access is now part of Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah,
which means
and
to
play FIFA.
Yeah, like every EA game.
I'll play the most recent one though.
Yeah, of course.
So get ready to play some FIFA 13 with me, Caden.
Now everyone can play Anthem.
Whoa!
And Star Wars Squadrons.
Hey, didn't you buy Anthem?
Yes, I own Anthem.
Didn't you buy it like a month ago?
I did. I bought it like a month and a half ago, and I started it, and I was like, hey, this isn't so bad. And then I got to a mission, and the mission's objective was complete 100. I can't remember what they're called, but it's basically a type of event that is 100% randomly generated. The level at which it spawns is randomly generated, and it only happens in the free roam. And I've got to complete 100 of those, and it can happen anywhere on the map. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
It's a good thing you have Avengers to tickle that itch now.
It's very true. I've played. I think I just hit like 60 hours in Avengers.
That's a lot.
It's so much.
That's so many hours.
It is. Well, guys, I know you're going to be excited at this one. Call of Duty multiplayer reveal happened. Yes! Imagine Call of Duty multiplayer, except imagine it's more like Battlefield now.
Oh, yes!
The future.
Yes!
No.
2 Battlefields.
Do you remember?
I thought video games have reached their peak, but I'm not so sure.
Do you remember when everyone was like, "Man, fuck Call of Duty, it's now in the future"?
Yeah.
And now it's in 1960s.
So now they're just like, "Oh, let's just go back again, whatever."
We got to go back to the past.
When does the contract end? Are they just on an infinite contract? Is that why they
Call
were
of Duty Infinite Contract.
Yeah. Infinity Ward only make games within.
I feel like the only reason they're still like doing Call of Duty games is because of how big Warzone was.
Oh, for sure.
Warzone was huge.
I can't wait to play Call of Duty Black Ops.
I mean,
Cold
look how
War and work for Ronald Reagan.
Just look how fucking little engagement that tweet had though for like a reveal. Like people only care about Warzone.
But why would you not want to work for Ronald Reagan?
I would.
Best president.
He was.
He inspired a great Lemon Demon song.
Oh, here we go.
What do you mean, here we go? I'm not going to go off. I'm not going to do a performance of Reaganomics by Lemon Demon.
No, but you find any excuse to mention that man.
Him.
Creator of such hits as Potter Puppet Pals.
Yes.
And... I can't remember what else he did. Ariel Has Legs.
Yes.
At Brody Quest.
The Ultimate Showdown.
And I always think he did the Laser Collection, but that wasn't him. That was another guy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
So this pandemic has brought with it a lot of game postponements, right?
I've been gamer moments, if you will.
But today I'm here to tell you that the release date for Assassin's Creed Valhalla has been brought forward.
Whoa.
By 10 days.
Wow. Really that short?
Because Microsoft paid them money to make it launch on the same day as the Xbox Series X/S.
Wow. Jesus Christ, is it really launching? Is the Xbox really launching that soon?
It's launching in like it's 17th of November is when it launches. Oh, sorry, 10th of November. 10th of November.
Jesus.
Fucking hell.
2 months.
Yeah.
Wow, they okay. Sure.
So we'll have a timed exclusive Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Wow. That's exciting for people who like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's interesting though because they brought the release date forward on every platform, not just Xbox.
Oh.
It's coming out early.
Oh, right.
On everything. It's just the whole release date's been pulled forward.
So Xbox paid Ubisoft like, oh, bring it out earlier.
And they just did
just
it.
do it the entire time.
All right.
So our PlayStation's like, oh, cool.
We need the money.
Nice.
Yeah, they do, to be fair. They've been paying for a while.
Now, the next one's probably our biggest story of the week. You all know what I'm talking about, obviously. I am talking about
Ubisoft.
Fortnite Switch!
Oh.
Yes!
Fortnite Switch!
Wow.
Yes!
What?
Oh, Travis Scott's my favourite Fortnite.
I love the battle bus on the home burn.
If the battle bus wasn't there, those colours look banging, so I'll probably get it, but...
The fucking sexual... the fucking sexual tension between Nintendo and the word limited recently is insane.
It's mad.
It's so mad.
Well, here's a big surprise. Skull and Bones isn't coming out this year.
You could have stopped it with Skull and Bones isn't coming out.
Skull and Bones isn't coming out. They felt the need to remind people. They were like, guys, the Ubisoft Forward's coming up soon, and I know so many people are expecting it to be there, but we're sorry to tell you it's not going to be at the Ubisoft Forward. And everyone was like, who are you? What's this game?
Sorry,
I do
guys,
not recognize this
breaking
name.
news. Cuphead is coming to Arby's.
Yeah.
I can finally play Cuphead on Arby's.
Arby's Cuphead.
Where'd you send it?
I hope I can order milk and it comes in his hollowed out skull.
Yeah.
Play it on Arby's.
What's happened? Oh yeah.
No, Arby's is coming to Cuphead, Caden.
Pac-Man Geo.
Yes!
Yes,
yeah.
it looks
Best
so
news,
cool.
best news!
It's so good. The
Best news.
ultimate
I
evolution
just failed
of...
the driving test, but Pac-Man, he's gonna teach me how to.
He's gonna... You just have to go everywhere that Pac-Man goes.
Exactly. That's all you need to know to learn how to drive. Just
There's-
follow the Pac-Man.
Other
There's also
cars
a
are gonna
lot that could go wrong with this, though. Like, if the aim of the game is get as many dots as possible, they need to be really careful about where they put those dots.
Yeah.
They do, that's true.
Also, if you get chased by ghosts, you don't want to see someone, like, sprinting down a street to avoid a ghost.
Yeah. I just imagine people just walking by like, oh shit, ghost, and sprint in the opposite direction.
You know, I'm thinking
oh
that it's...
god!
I'm thinking that it's actually... I was thinking about this when I first read this article, and I'm thinking it might not actually be location based, but just like it'll find you on location initially, and then you can just control Pac-Man around a map. Like there's no way because if it was like it goes where you walk, that would be the slowest game of Pac-Man in the world.
I want a sat-nav mode where the dots appear where you need to go if you're driving somewhere.
Or just have a sat nav, so it's like, oh, here's the dots, and then you're actually driving your car, and it goes
that's what I'm saying.
And then Pac-Man gets in his car.
Yeah.
Pac-Man probably has a car.
He does. How do you think he gets to work?
In one of his games. No, Pac-Man definitely has a car in like the intro of Pac-Man world design.
The Unfinished Swan came out.
Pac-Man.
You do. The Unfinished Swan came out on a bunch of different things for some reason.
Unfinished Swan? Is that the sequel to Untitled Goose?
Untitled Goose is actually the sequel to Unfinished Swan.
Wow.
If you haven't played the Unfinished Swan, then play it, I guess. It's fun enough. I wouldn't pay
Is
more
it
than
supposed to be
$5 for
fun, or is it supposed to be transcendent, Josh?
It's kind of like Journey, but
So it's not meant
got
to be
narration.
fun.
Oh, what do you mean? You're right. It's meant to make
It's
you
supposed to be
cry.
eye-opening.
It's
Yeah,
meant to make you understand more about the human condition.
exactly.
But it's about Swan.
Yeah, the swan condition.
Oh.
So before the Ubisoft Forward, the CEO of Ubisoft released this apology here.
Uh-oh.
And it felt a little not good to me personally, and not to throw shade at Ubisoft's CEO.
Josh,
but
they'll never hire you now.
what were they going to hire me as before?
A gamer.
An epic gamer. It's just the fact that I know that this man has been accused by multiple people who all saw it happen of choking a woman at a party.
No.
What else? It's
Don't be
also the fact that
ridiculous, Josh.
this is a 4-minute long video, and for the first minute, he goes, so we found out that people got sexually assaulted at our company for years, and
that's
nothing
not
happened about
cool.
it. And he, damn, that sucks, bro. So we've decided to put more money into our graduate program.
Love that.
And then for the next...
So more people can have the chance to get to be...
And then for the next 3 minutes of this 4-minute video, he's like, also, we put imagery into our mobile game that could very easily and was very clearly anti-Black Lives Matter. So we've decided to hire more people of color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
That'll
won't
fix
happen
it.
again. Because then Patrick will be like, that's bad, and we will ignore them.
Are you gonna take it out of the game? Yeah, we'll just remove the cutscenes entirely. Okay.
Josh, I think you're talking out of your bottom. Ubisoft would never do this.
You're right.
Obviously.
Not my French game developer.
Not my French. The creators of Rayman would never be racist. That's my hot take. I'm joking, by the way.
Oh, I know.
No. I know you guys know.
Oh, sure. Do you remember how
future employers?
Do you remember how I said that Call of Duty's new multiplayer looks like
yes.
Battlefield?
Battlefield got announced.
No, Battlefield deleted their Twitter account.
Oh.
They got what?
They didn't just like private it or anything. They just deleted it. They deleted the whole thing.
Oh.
What? What? Call of Duty were like, oh, we're gonna be the new Battlefield, and Battlefield would like, oh.
They were like, we gotta go.
Guess we can't exist anymore, guys.
What else? Oh yeah, the entire next Xbox briefing was leaked online. The whole thing, from start to finish.
Well, don't spoil it, I guess. For
I won't
anyone who
spoil it.
doesn't
All
wanna
I'll
hear.
say is that there's no new information in it.
Is there nothing that I would care about?
It's basically just like it's a lot of investor language.
Is there any
like-
banjo?
No, they don't talk about games at all. They mostly just talk about how like it's gonna be the most immersive, most gamer epic.
It's the most gaming
it's gonna
console.
make us a
ever
lot of
gaming
money.
console.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a gamer, then sucks for you.
I have some more breaking news. They're advertising. I was gonna say Gods and Monsters, but Immortals Phoenix Rising. They're advertising it with Stadia because they're trying to associate the game with Stadia.
Oh yeah, Stadia.
Yeah, it's gonna have
Stadia.
Gods and Monsters is
We
gonna
got-
have a free demo that is only available on Stadia.
We got so mad at that trailer.
Yeah,
I
did.
think-
if you
I think-
want to go back and watch the VOD, we got so mad. My mic was peaking for the whole second half of that stream.
I think for me, the thing which annoyed me so much about it was everyone, like, in retrospect, being like, just because it's an open world game doesn't mean it's exactly like Breath of the Wild. And it's like, yeah, if it was an open world game, it wouldn't be like Breath of the Wild. But this is clearly a
But
rip-off.
it's not. Yeah, it's not because it's an open world game. It's because it takes all the mechanics.
All the mechanics, animations,
animations, concepts.
everything about it.
I think the breaking point for me was when I was like reading
Climbing.
about it. Yeah, the climbing. But then afterwards, when they were just talking about it, and they were like, and after you've completed a small tutorial area, the whole map is available for you to explore from the beginning.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's Skyrim. Skyrim, right? It just works.
Yeah.
Club
Jesus.
Penguin, right?
Club Penguin, you can go anywhere.
You can.
My favorite open world game.
I mean, it kind of is.
It is an open world, to be fair.
It is a world,
It's definitely a world.
You can go wherever you want.
and in Immortal Phoenix Rising, can you really be a penguin in a club? I don't think so.
Exactly.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
You can go
well-
be Captain Rockhopper in Gods and Monsters, Immortal Phoenix Rising. It's such a bad name.
It is
Why couldn't
so
you just stuck with
awful.
Gods and Monsters? It's so much easier to say.
Gods and Monsters
They're
is a better
stinky.
name. Well, what was it? Oh yeah, that's all of the major gaming news. Oh, there's also going to be, that's all of the major gaming news. There's been some little
Ooh.
releases of certain
Kinda fun.
games. There's been some things announced, like presentations announced, the PlayStation 1, a Cyberpunk one. But I'm not going to talk about something that hasn't happened yet. So
I know.
moving on to film and TV.
Wow.
Venture Bros got cancelled,
Yes. I mean, oh.
which is, it's a shame.
I
I don't
was saying
care
this-
about the show very
I-
much.
I don't care for Venture Bros. I get what it's doing, but it was never for me. but like, for me, it's frustrating because it's a case of people are only caring about it because it got cancelled. Like, the active fandom died off a long time ago, but now that it's been cancelled, everyone's like, oh, what a shame. But I guarantee if it was like, if this is the same example and it was like season 8 of like Mr. Pickles, a show that people actively hate, people would still be like, oh, what a shame it didn't get to flourish, you know, like, people
really get to shine.
It was only just starting to get good. Cut down in its prime.
People just act like people only care because they're like, it's trendy and it's frustrating.
The one thing
like,
I can understand,
it got 8 seasons.
Yeah,
it got 8 fucking seasons.
Yeah, the one thing I can understand is that it ended on a cliffhanger, so I get it, but also like how many people were watching it? It got cancelled for a reason, you know.
If it got cancelled, it probably wasn't making them much money, so like, who was really watching it?
Well, I'm not going to talk about Stewie's first word.
Oh, can we?
For fuck's sake, fine.
I wonder what you'll say. Stewie's never said anything on Family Guy.
I can't wait to find out what Stewie says. What do guys? One by one, say what you think Stewie's first word will be.
Someone else go. I need to think of something funny.
The N-word.
Stewie's first word is going to be mum, mummy, 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 mama, 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 mama.
You should have stayed thinking for longer.
Wow. Okay, Stewie's first word is going to be fat man.
He's gonna stand there and sing Hamilton again.
Oh yeah.
How does a bastard?
Well, that's what pisses me off. Is like, oh, the family have never heard him speak, but like, that whole episode is him talking to a therapist. You can understand everything he says.
And multiple times in the show's history, the family have heard him speak, and multiple times they've made jokes about, oh, so can people hear you speak or not? And they go, I don't know. It's just a silly, goofy comedy show.
Wow, Family Guy's
thinking about it, idiot.
It's not that deep, bro.
Low key, though, I really like the Stewie's first word art. It looks like a classic Nickelodeon show.
Yeah.
So, I was just thinking about the Oscars again.
Okay.
And what's gonna happen.
Stewie's first word is gonna win an Oscar, I know.
Can you guys try and guess for me the top 4 highest grossing films?
Sonic.
Yeah.
Please tell me The Invisible Man's up there, please.
It never.
What else came out this year?
Nothing.
Yeah, because I said, like, how many films I've seen this year? 4.
Is Tenet up there?
What was big on streaming? Trolls World Tour.
Scoob.
Not the top 4.
Trolls World Tour is not in the top 4. Try saying that 3 times
fast.
Please do.
Go for it.
Please be Lighthouse.
Okay, I'm gonna go from bottom to top.
Alright.
So at number 4 we got Doolittle.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
At number 3 we got Sonic.
Yeah.
At number 2 we got The 800, which I don't actually.
Okay.
And at number 1 we have Bad Boys for Life.
Yes!
That is the top grossing film this year.
Wow, that shows how little money Sonic probably made.
Actually, no, because Bad Boys is like an actual like film franchise.
Yeah.
Bad Boys is an actual film, Sonic isn't.
Oh, Tenet is 5th, Birds of Prey 6th, Onward 7th, Invisible Man's 8th.
Well, at least it's on there. At least it's in the top 10.
Imagine.
It's a gentleman.
Wow.
Imagine a Pixar film getting beaten by Sonic.
Imagine if the only reason a horror film gets into the fucking Oscars for once is because they're forced to acknowledge it.
It's their only film that came out this year.
It's the only one that they don't turn their noses up at because it's not good enough.
It's not, you did art wrong. Get out.
That's not a real cinema.
Look at this documentary about sad old person.
Yes, beautiful. I'm a sad old person.
And they're also a person of color. Yes.
Oh, I would love people
and
to
a
think I care about the.
And a white person comes along and makes and opens people's eyes about racism being
Wow,
bad.
that book was so green. Wow.
I want to talk about my favorite news.
Please do.
The popular, I say popular, the YouTuber Cybershell came back.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Cybershell. He only makes Sonic videos, and he releases like every like year or so. He comes back, releases 2 videos, and goes into hiding again. And after 2 whole years, he came back with an hour-long video about what chows are.
Gotcha. I like to imagine that he works on them for like that full year.
I hope so, because he's got a monthly Patreon.
And he's got like paper up on the walls with red twine going between all these pictures of chows.
Yeah, he just loves Sonic.
Oh,
Doesn't.
well,
It's like
also
the third, 4th highest grossing film of the year.
yeah, but also sad news. He's making videos that aren't about Sonic now.
what's even the point? He should be cancelled.
He should. So you hear that, Cybershell? If you're listening, and I know you're a big GRYITH fan.
I mean, who isn't? Who isn't?
Why the flip are you making non-Sonic videos?
Tut tut.
I know.
It sucks, bro.
Revolting.
In our next story, the Dune trailer came out.
Ooh, sand in space.
Yeah, it's sand. It's space
God.
sand.
Seeing how boring that trailer was in terms of color and stuff, and how, just the fact that Timothy Chalamet is in it is enough to make me go, yeah, I probably don't need to see this. It just makes me desperate for Hodorowski's Dune to be a reality.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Because it looks so for a Denis Villeneuve movie, this looks so uninspired.
It does. It does. It hits me especially hard because I just fucking went and watched Tenet, and it was, oh god, you could put a blur on that film and it would just be like a grey splodge for 2.5 hours. And this looks like the same thing. It's just a grey and brown splodge.
How do you make sand the wrong color on a sand planet?
Right?
This looks like a YA thing.
It does. It doesn't. It doesn't look like a huge, big budget films with tens of, big name actors.
The palette reminds me of something like Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah. The only thing that piqued my interest in this trailer, and I think there's a reason they left it until last, was the sandworm, the iconic Dune sandworm. But I think it's a really interesting design for the sandworm. It's really ominous.
But again, it's just this gives me off the same vibe. What was that movie that came out with Cara Delevingne and
Valerian?
Valerian.
Yeah.
This just looks like a film that is it has a fine trailer, but the film it just doesn't look interesting, and it's a shame because Denis Villeneuve was such an interesting director.
Yeah.
And this just looks like another sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this because Oscar Isaac's in it. I feel like if you just told me oh, this is another Star Wars story film, I'd be like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I see that.
But it just doesn't look interesting.
Dunkachino, the Dunk logo right there.
I've said for a while, a few months, that Denis Villeneuve has been on the up and up, and the bubble, the Villeneuve bubble has to pop at some point.
This is it.
And I think this is the pop. It was always gonna be. Everyone always says that Dune is one of those things that you just can't adapt to film well. Who was it? David Fincher? No, not David Fincher. Who am I thinking of? Who did Twin Peaks?
No, David Lynch.
Lynch. Yeah, if Lynch can do it.
Yeah. If someone as insane
and
as
wacky
Hodorowski,
yes,
teamed up with
Geiger.
Fucking Geiger.
Yeah.
If Alejandro Jodorowsky and Geiger, the man known for doing the concept art for fucking Alien, if that collaboration, as crazy as they are, doesn't work out and make a Dune movie,
it's not gonna happen, is it?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen, and it's not gonna work out well.
Yeah. Oh well. On to our next story. It looks like Universal's releasing a remake of Freaky Friday, except it's a horror movie.
Again?
A horror comedy now.
What?
I don't actually know that it's a remake of Freaky Friday. But
it isn't.
The film is called Freaky, and it's about people swapping bodies.
Okay, so it's like... Because the original Freaky Friday is owned by Disney.
Yeah, it is owned by
and
Disney.
And there's already 4 Disney Freaky Fridays. And one of them's a musical.
Yeah, this is very clearly meant to be the Freaky Friday concept.
Right.
Except instead of being a mother and a daughter, this time she gets killed by a serial killer and then wakes up in that serial killer's body, and the serial killer's in her body.
That's a fun idea.
It's a fun idea.
Sounds like a comedy, though.
It is a comedy. It's a horror comedy.
I reckon
really fun. As long as they don't take themselves too seriously, it'll be great.
I recognize that lead actress.
I do too. This is directed by the same guy that did Happy Death Day.
I heard that was okay.
By watching it, yeah. It was the same. It was the same as how this looks. It was fun and goofy, and that's all it wanted to be. So I guess how much can you fault it?
Sure.
Freaky 20.
She was in Detective Pikachu.
Ah, I see. Oh, was she the
the quirky love interest?
Yeah, the quirky love interest. Oh, well, there's that. Borat 2. Are we going to talk about Borat 2? When are we going to talk about Borat 2?
My life, and that's
my
life. This shirt is black and night. I love it. Borat's back. Borat.
Yes.
Borat.
So, before we get into our next story, I wanted to just talk about something that I found again the other day. I just found this cool little quote from, I'll say who said it in a moment. It's a cool little quote where he says that, fuck it, I'll say who it is. Adam Sandler says that after Uncut Gems was snubbed at the Oscars, he's going to make the worst movie ever. Anyway,
I love him.
Here's the trailer for Adam Sandler's new Halloween film.
Awesome.
It looks awful. It's Adam Sandler doing his classic the voice that he does, the one voice he knows how to do.
Yes, I forgot what the character's called. He does it in all his old stand-up bits. Yeah. It's the one that isn't whitey.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's that voice.
That's a technical foul. It's me. It's his Doug Walker impression. That's all it is.
It's his Doug Walker impression. But yeah, it looks awful and terrible and bad. I'll probably watch it.
No, I'll watch it too.
Just out of principle.
Yeah.
No, I've actually come to respect Adam Sandler a lot in the past few years. Uncut Gems and everything surrounding that has made me realize he's just stuck doing these movies.
Yeah,
I don't think is he stuck, or does he I want to hang out with my friends and make money.
They obviously do have fun making them, but you can see reviews for Punch Drunk Love and Uncut Gems, and everyone is just it's not as funny as his other movies.
I think what it comes down to, I think what happened was he got to a point where he kind of got burnt out, and he was for a while just making movies with his friends for a paycheck.
Yeah.
It's been said to death, all the fucking product placements and Grown Ups and fucking, Dunkachino.
Yeah.
This movie actually could be kind of fun. I am watching the trailer without sound, but this doesn't look terrible.
Just watch it with sound and just listen to the script and tell me if you feel the same way.
Can it be past Spooktober?
Oh, Spooktober. I'll replace the Halloween double feature with a double feature of this. We'll watch this twice.
Yes. No, can we watch this back to back with another bad Halloween comedy?
Oh, yes, please.
I'm trying to think of any. I can't.
Scary Movie.
Oh yeah.
We'll watch Scary Movie 5.
Yeah, but
Only 5.
But-
Josh, you
but
have
Scary Movie
Monster
1 and-
House on your list.
of films to watch.
Yeah.
I've seen Monster House like 20
I know, but
times.
it's- God, it's-
Monster House Zoo.
Yeah.
Next story. They're doing another series of Eric Andre's show. Finally,
Yay.
he shaved all the hair on his body. What?
It's coming like quite soon.
I don't know.
He released a release. I remember it being like weirdly.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I'm very, because okay, so I'm not like a fan of the Eric Andre show, but I respect what it's doing. I'm really worried that he's getting to the point in his career where like just everyone knows who he is now.
Yeah, that's the worry.
The magic's gonna be
the
lost.
Interviews might not work anymore.
Yeah.
But let's not hang around on that. When our next story is Fast and Furious 9,
Yes.
which is going to be in space.
And I'll tell you when it's after when I
Everyone,
see you
right now,
again.
come up with a title for Fast and Furious 9, which takes place in space.
Fast and Furious Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yes, perfect. Yes, come up with a name.
The second image.
I just noticed that.
Fast and Furious shift.
What?
Fast, blast and
It's
furious.
shifting your gears in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't just ask us to make a pun on the spot, Josh. Jesus.
They're gonna call
It's the
it.
pressure.
They're gonna call it
Pressure's
Fast and Furious Collision Course.
Like Ice Age.
Just like my favorite
The
franchise.
other day, you had Cosmic Drift.
Yeah, I said Cosmic Drift. But they've already
Nice,
got
I
Tokyo
like that.
Drift.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a nice bit of wordplay, wouldn't it?
It would.
Fast and Furious parking space.
That's what Fast and Furious 75 when Vin Diesel's like 80 years old.
Parking space, that's
I need
fantastic.
to
This is
find my parking space.
What would you do if you went to go see it, and Vin Diesel hangs down on a tiny little helicopter and goes, "Whoa, that party bus is going out of control. We need to save these guys."
Oh my god.
Reverse wings and flies into the air.
Oh my god. Imagine.
Oh, Fast and Furious the ride is something else.
What would you do if you went to the cinema and the whole of Fast and Furious 9 was...
And you to space.
Well, no, it was, and the entire film was just justifying the existence of Fast and Furious Supercharged at Universal, and it involved them going
They
to
don't need to
space.
justify the existence. It already has a perfect reason to exist.
It's perfect and flawless.
When you go to a party, the FBI just appear, and then Dom comes up from a truck that's just in the ground for some reason. And then they're like, you need to get out of here! And then you go, and for some reason you're in a shootout, and they don't explain it.
Just to do a survey, who here has seen a Fast and Furious movie, and if so, how many?
I've seen one in the cinema, and I've seen the one that is famously regarded as the best one, which is the one that ends with the safe.
Yes, that is the best one.
Is that 5?
Yeah, that's
I think
5.
so.
Yeah, I've seen 5 in cinemas. That was really good. I've seen the Hobson Shaw, which is,
Oh,
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
which is just a stupid action movie, and I loved it. I got exactly what I wanted
I'm
from
not
it.
gonna lie, it looked kind of charming.
Is there any
so dumb.
is this like the film series now with like the most direct sequels? Because it's like tying with Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like we're not including spin-offs for either franchise. This is tying with Star Wars.
No, yeah, there's 9. It's a story of 9 films.
Yep.
I say story.
Wow.
And Hobbs and Shaw, so that's 10.
Well, I'd said direct. That's a spin-off.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because you've also got the films that we're forgetting, like Solo, a Star Wars story, and
Yeah.
9 direct sequels.
What I'm interested in is there's no Dwayne The Rock Johnson in that poster, and I know Vin Diesel and The Rock don't see eye to eye, so I'm wondering if it was a case of which one of the two would work for less money. And they just decided we'll have one of them because they won't work together again. Vin Diesel's worth a bit less.
That's
Let's get
probably why
him
they
in
made
it.
Hobbs and Shaw. They've split them off into 2 separate franchises now.
Probably.
Or just wasn't enough room on the spaceship.
But that means
Dwayne Johnson's too
we won't be able to
chunky.
see Dwayne Johnson flex so hard he breaks out of his arm cars. He heals his arm and breaks out of his cars.
It's just like there's a place in cinema for stuff like Fast and Furious, and I'm so glad it's around.
Well, not for much longer.
Is it the last one?
I think 10's the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So it's going to beat Star Wars.
Yes, thank God.
Oh wait, no, wait. Didn't you hear what? I don't know if you've talked about this before, but you know how people were joking about the new trilogy being non-canon.
Yeah.
Did you hear the person who runs Star Wars is like, oh, they're just part of the Star Wars mythos, and we might work on a reboot, so they technically aren't canon, and we're just gonna redo the movies.
They're gonna redo Star Wars.
I think they're gonna redo the sequels, because they were talking about how no one liked the direction, so I think they want to just redo it.
I don't know the fact that no one liked the direction. I feel like there wasn't a direction. It was like, we'll make it up as we go along.
But that's the thing. People didn't like it because every time someone liked the direction the series was going, it directly was the complete opposite direction what another fan wanted.
This happens all the fucking time with big studios. They're like, oh, people didn't like it, and that's it. They're not like, oh, I wonder. Let's look at why people didn't like it and maybe.
Yeah, just let's try again.
Oh, we'll just do it again. We'll just fucking throw shit at the wall again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there are a lot of rumors hinting that it's going to be considered like a legend.
Yeah.
And it didn't actually happen.
Great.
And then Luke woke up.
Just get rid of the fucking last movie, and then just
get rid of all Star Wars movies and have George Lucas wake up snuggling what he thinks is a Jar Jar Binks toy until he realizes that Star Wars never existed.
Oh, thank God. Just stop making Star Wars and try making an original IP. How about that?
Never. No, that's never gonna happen.
No, that doesn't make any.
No.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. It must be my fever. I must be talking gibberish.
Josh, when was the last time an original idea did well? Come on now, think harder.
You're right.
There's
You're
no
right.
original
I'm
ideas.
a fool.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm a
I mean,
fool.
what's the highest grossing movie of all time? The 57th movie in a big series, baby.
Excuse me, what's the second highest grossing movie?
Cowboys and Indians in Space.
Actually, it's Dances with Wolves in Space.
No, that's adjust for inflation. Oh wait, no, that is Avatar. I thought you were saying Dances with Wolves was the second highest grossing, and I was like,
oh wait, that is Avatar.
I was like, no, that is Avatar. God, Avatar sucks.
Avatar does sucks. Anyway, Wonder Woman's been delayed. Candyman's been delayed. I don't know why Candyman's been delayed. They kept saying, "Oh, it's basically done. It'll be definitely done for October." And
because it won't make money.
Oh, of course, the money. Silly me. A new Haunted Mansion movie's being worked on, and the lead writer is the one of the writers for Paul Feig movies and the film Snatched. What else? They're making
You're brushing past that. You're just so.
I don't want to think about
caring about the Haunted Mansion.
They're making a full series based on those Mickey Mouse
so happy.
shorts. Yeah, me too.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
It's. I hope it's.
I love me some Craig McCracken. I've loved everything he's done up until this point. The Mickey Mouse shorts are brilliant.
Yes.
And plus, Disney's like brand identity is Mickey Mouse, and they haven't had like a proper Mickey Mouse thing in years. Bear in mind that Disney's poster child has never had his own movie.
Yep.
So no, there's never been a they was very close to start production on an epic Mickey movie. But they like got cold feet for obvious reasons, because they were like, they don't want it to be too dark and ruin Mickey Mouse's his reputation. So the closest we've got is like him appearing in Fantasia and stuff.
Oh, that's crazy. I think he's got like he has his own games, like so
Exactly.
many TV series and all that.
Yeah.
They don't want to tarnish his reputation, you know.
It's too big a risk.
It's too big a risk if they get it.
The line, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. If they get it wrong, they get it fucking wrong. Like, they've ruined their mascot. Like, imagine if... Well, I was just say, imagine Nintendo made a bad Mario game, but...
They wouldn't. Well, Sega made a bad Sonic game.
Sega would never.
So where's Sonic Forces 2 coming out?
Oh, the best Sonic game.
The only Sonic game in my book.
And moving on now to the miscellaneous news.
Ooh.
Our first story, as usual, Universal is still not building anything officially. This is footage of Universal not airlifting a Velociraptor onto a ride that they're building. This is not a Velociraptor here.
Honestly, so upsetting that Universal just won't ever do anything with that Velociraptor. Like, they just...
It's such a shame.
Like, they're just carrying it for fun. Like, when will they build something?
It's just a little goofy thing that they're doing.
Yeah. I guess
when will they build them?
Taking over. It's like, oh, what can we do? Let's lift this dinosaur in the air.
They're just wasting time.
I reckon they're paying those builders to so they don't have to furlough them, and they're just like, just do whatever you want with this crane, you know. I'm sure there's not a ride.
There's no ride. There is no ride.
No.
Can we actually talk scaffolding that they're using to paint?
Can we actually talk about the theme park news that's actually exciting?
Being
how fucking amazing Super Nintendo World looks.
Yes, we can. I'll get to that in just a moment. I'll quickly go through this next story. I'm just going through them as they're written.
The Rock Experience.
No, it's Neuralink. Let's talk about Neuralink. Let's not talk about Neuralink. It scares me. I don't like it. Neuralink happened.
Woo!
Nvidia announced their new line of graphics cards, and it's the biggest generational leap that they've ever done, which is cool. It looks cool. Wow. It's the first set of 8K ready graphics cards, which is very exciting. Here's the video that you sent, Tom, about the Mario Kart ride, which sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's like the next step up from Mario Kart VR. It's like, it's insane. Like randomized tracks, so every time you ride, it'll be different. Interactable items. You can switch lanes that you're driving in. It's insane.
So is it like a straight up? That's what I couldn't figure out. Is it like a simulator roller coaster, or is it like a straight up race? Is it like an actual controllable race?
So the layout of you can control your car. You can't choose when you're moving. You're always moving forward at a steady pace.
Yeah.
But there are a certain number of lanes that you can move into. I imagine it's probably just 2. You can just move left and right. And obviously you won't be able to like overtake the people in front of you and stuff. It's so interesting.
It is. It's honestly, like, I think the thing which fascinates me about Universal at the moment is I feel like Disney have just stopped trying a bit. Like, they've obviously got, Galaxy's Edge and Avatar, which are insane, but they don't need to innovate. They're just making immersive lands.
Yeah.
Whereas Universal are doing so much. Like, say what you want about Harry Potter as a franchise. Like, Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley are insane.
Even now, even however many years, 5 years later, they are the best theme park lands I've ever been to.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm so excited for this Nintendo Land, because it's like...
I think it's because Universal always feels like they have to compete with Disney at every turn. It means that they always have to try that much harder.
I mean, this is the...
And Disney know that people are gonna like it no matter what.
Yeah. And I mean, like, Mario is like the closest thing Universal can get to Mickey Mouse, pretty much.
It's also probably in Universal's eyes like a big risk, like...
100%.
Like a video game franchise.
Yeah,
there's a reason that they've done it in
Japan. Don't have a
Japan.
huge crossover with video game fans.
Yeah, I mean,
no. I mean, it's just the thing that excites me so much, and I'm sure we'll get onto it later. But like, the rides seem cool, but my god, the amount of moving animatronics they've got around the land, like it goes from something like you know, walking through the Magic Kingdom where it's like, oh, this is clearly a theme park, but like this is nice and it's magical, to this is the only time I've ever looked at something and it looks like you are stepping into another world.
Yes.
It looks animated.
I have pictures of it. I have pictures of it, but they're later on in my list here, so we'll get to that in a moment. But right now I have Universal in Orlando opened up part of the bridge that was closed before, and here above the bridge you can see nothing. There is nothing above the bridge.
Yeah, nice clear blue sky.
It's there's nothing here.
God. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's some really ugly looking, like, you know, like metal stuff over
those,
it.
like pipes or something.
But I'm sure they'll remove them. I'm sure they'll remove them.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Build a ride? I don't think so.
Why would they do that?
Of course not.
Yeah, look at this.
Just, you know, sanitation, right?
What's everyone talking? Coaster.
What? Like a
I don't
drink?
know.
Like
I
a
guess,
drink?
yeah.
Down? I guess they can have a nice.
I mean,
coaster.
look. What is the crossover between Jurassic World and a roller coaster? Like, those things just don't.
I can't think.
Don't connect
at all. Are they talking about the Jurassic World, the Jurassic Park River Adventure ride? Maybe.
Oh, maybe that is a good
roller
ride.
coaster.
That's not roller. No.
Here you can see. This picture was taken last year, and this picture is from a couple days ago. Here you can see they've removed some of the trees and not replaced it with anything.
Mm.
Oh, it's kind of ugly looking, but
it's just a tree, right?
I'm metal tree.
I'm gonna say, like, jokes aside, the one thing Universal cannot do that Disney is so good at is they are so terrible at making like, I don't remember the word, but like the fact that like there's Harry Potter shit just in the background.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Like this picture is my favorite view. Looking across the lake at all of the like the palm trees and the Jurassic Park. That was my favorite view, and I am a little sad that now it's just got a big roller coaster, a big mysterious metal things in front of it. But yeah, but it's
But look how obvious the Harry Potter castle is now. Look at all that disgusting
like before it was just like you could barely see it. It's just kind of it's just kind of there. But now it's very clear. As I said, it's like I'm glad that there are still some trees there, but it's just it's like you walk in now and you're not like, wow, I'm looking over at this Jurassic Park Discovery Center. You're like, wow, I'm looking over at the theme park. I'm at an amusement park right now.
Disney are really good at doing things like painting the back of Hollywood Tower of Terror so it matches like the skyline of the area you're in. Like when you're in an area, you're in that area.
Yeah, I think with that one it's the back of the Tower of Terror is painted and designed so that it matches the aesthetic of the Morocco Pavilion in a separate park.
That's right.
It's mad.
Yeah, Disney are very good at that, and I feel like Universal, the one thing they don't have, which Disney has, is they're very much like, oh, we're just a theme park.
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to do some cool lands, but like, you know, if you see something in the distance, like, oh, that just helps with, you know, directions and stuff.
Yeah, it worked with Hagrid, because when they were building that, it was all, they like, you know, dug out this big pit that they could build it in, and it was all behind the park. But this is literally in the center of the entire park. This lake that you can see here is the center. Like when you walk in, it is the central point of the entire of Islands of Adventure.
This is going to be this is going to be a really obscure reference, but it to me it kind of looks like that skyline kind of looks like in the opening of the second act of Book of Mormon, where there's that big mural of what Orlando looks like.
Yeah.
Just a hodgepodge of fucking everything at once.
You got the fucking... Yeah, it's even... if you look at a big panorama of this as well, there's like the Marvel stuff over here, and then the Dr. Seuss stuff over here, Harry Potter over there, Jurassic Park. I've got a great photo on my phone. It's a selfie, and it's in the background.
That's why it's great.
It's got me in it. But in the background, it's looking through the Jurassic Park arch, and it's at the right angle it's looking through the Jurassic Park arch at Hogwarts Castle. It's very surreal, because they're right next to each other. They're literally inches away from each other. But we'll get back to theme parks in a moment, because little story. Gizmodo and Kotaku UK are both closing down because Future PLC have lost a lot of money. That's a little one that
not Kotaku.
Yeah, but only the UK branch.
Oh.
But back to theme parks. Don't worry, I didn't stay off it for long. Halloween Horror Nights Scare Access have been getting emails about a secondary opportunity. I wonder what it could be. Maybe we'll come back to it in a bit.
I wonder if they're just going to be like, hey, we're going to do some Zoom calls, and you can scare some people if people tune in.
Scare them over Zoom. What's this? Universal has moved these big arches that are always used to put up the signs for the for the Halloween Horror Nights houses with information about what the houses are up.
I sincerely hope, I'm desperate that out of these two things, they still do the Ghost of Billie Eilish. I need to know what that was going to be.
To cut straight to the chase, it seems like they're going to be doing just 2 of the houses, and that they're going to be open during normal park hours. It's not going to be a separately ticketed event.
I need to know. I need to know.
I'm gonna dash your dreams, and I'm gonna say that it's probably going to be some of the original houses, because no one's going to be allowing their IPs to be used. But who knows? Billie Eilish might be like, "Hey, go ahead."
I have to know. I don't understand how you can take that music and make the ghosts of Billie Eilish.
I really don't know. It's weird because last year they had not only a whole actually, to be fair, the house was based on one of Rob Zombie's movies, but they had an entire scare zone themed around Rob Zombie's most famous album. It was very odd.
You love Rob Zombie.
And sexual. There were like actual strippers there. It was weird.
They should have done one based on Azure WK.
Oh, they should.
It's just like a splash zone.
I Get
You
Wet.
better get ready to kill.
Is that what his album was called? I Get Wet?
Yeah.
As
Anthony Fantano said, it is the best rock album of the 2010s. You're gonna get ready to die.
And I wonder what happened this week at Disney. What exciting things happened this week at the Disney parks?
Nothing.
Oh, the Epcot restrooms got new signage? They've got an orange backing now?
Where's the gender neutral stuff?
When Josh showed me this, I took Josh's phone and I put 2 fingers, one on each.
Hello, Mr. Ass. How are you?
I just want more gender neutral bathrooms.
No,
Why
Jess.
do I pee?
No, Jess. You are a disability. You go in the disabled bathroom.
I just hate that it says it has a sign for a man and it has a sign for a woman, and it says not all disabilities are visible.
Oh, it does actually?
Yeah, straight under that. And
was that Judy Hopps? Was that your wife, Josh?
It was because it was Judy Hopps. Because the next story is that there is actually Disney Parks news. They released final concept art for the Disney Play Pavilion, which is going to be replacing the... Tom, what's that pavilion that you were talking about the other day?
Oh, I can't remember for the life of me. But I'm very nostalgic for it.
Yeah.
And no one cares
Yeah, they're getting rid of it and they're replacing it with this. And it's it's a thing. There's going to be a cinema in there. There's going to be... They basically said that it's going to be like a futuristic arcade that takes up a whole building.
Like the one it's replacing, they still have a bunch of Sega shit everywhere.
Oh, I hope. I really do hope. And
when you saying this, like, the concept art just reminds you of fucking that scene in Ralph Breaks the Internet.
It does. The scene where they walk into the
and they see everything Disney owns, and it's the most terrifying shot in any movie.
This concept art looks exactly like that. What the frickin' heck is chocolate cheese?
What?
Someone in my chat's asking me, do I like chocolate cheese?
What's chocolate cheese?
Do you make that from chocolate milk?
What's chocolate cheese?
Oh god, that sounds fucking awful.
Imagine fermenting chocolate milk.
Oh. Oh my god, you just gave me a flashback when I used to work at McDonald's. And when people used to spill milkshake on the tables outside and it was a hot day. You know how their milkshakes are basically just a melted McFlurry?
Yes.
I did not know
So it would just leave this hardened blob, like literally
Pure sugar.
hard blob of pure sugar, and I had to like pressure wash it off with the spray. It was fucking awful.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, on better information, we're now on the pictures of Nintendo Land.
Oh my
We're
god,
looking at the
so
swamp
excited.
right now
Look at
with the little
that.
smoke effect.
Oh.
Nice.
It doesn't look real.
It doesn't look real.
It doesn't.
It really doesn't. All the moving parts, the coins moving in sync with each other, the
It's so...
the mushroom moving. There's too much to take in at once. The spinning shells, the little Koopa.
The thing that gets me is the little key coin from Super Mario 3D World on top of the power block.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I look at and I go, this isn't real. This is a video game. What are you talking about?
I've got some overhead images of the park and of the land, and I love this entrance area so much. With the little
you walk
star
through Peach's castle.
You enter through a little water pipe and you come out in Peach's castle. It looks like here. I'm guessing they're going to do a little meet and greet here. This looks like a meet and greet area. Just before you enter. Where's the?
It looks so charming.
Where's the closer image? Because we can see a lot more. Sadly, I remember when they had the original models before they started construction. This was bigger. This was significantly bigger in the models. So I'm guessing they've lost some funding, or maybe it's just more expensive to make than they thought. Because there was originally going to be a Donkey Kong area.
There was.
I imagine they'll expand
With the Donkey Kong ride.
eventually.
The problem with this is that there's nowhere to expand it into in this park because it's so close to the sea and a lake. On one side the sea and the other side a lake. But what they do have is the big Mario Kart ride, and you can get a little idea of how big the show building is for Mario Kart right here. As I said, it's full tracks. It's actual tracks. So you'll actually be driving around a Mario Kart track there.
And the little Yoshi people carrier.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you go in and there'll be little show scenes on it, and you go across all sorts of different layers.
I love it. I want to go to Japan so bad now.
Tom,
It looks
I
so
hope you
good.
know that Universal Japan also has 1/8 of the entire park is taken up by the Minions area.
Minions!
Yes,
Minions!
the Minions.
I love-
the rabbits of the film world.
I love
Yes.
Dominion.
Huh?
Dominion.
Jurassic World Dominion. That's what the next Jurassic World movie is called.
Jurassic World: The Minions.
I wish. But yeah, it looks so good. It looks so good because looking at it from the air, you see the like walls around it, and you're like you can see how from the ground that would completely obstruct your view, and you'd be fully immersed in this world. But you can't get a real feel for it. You can also see here, just looking at it again, on the pathways here. you can see the little question mark blocks here, which are used with the bands, little Mario bands that they've shown off in the past, and you can collect coins by punching the question mark blocks, and you can use the coins to get actual discounts in the shops. Or prizes,
That's
but
so
the prizes
cool.
pretty shit. Yep.
This is the coolest shit in the world.
It's
when are they building the American one?
It's going to be at Universal's Epic Universe, their new park in Orlando.
Good name.
I guess if they're making a new park for it, they'll have room for all of the stuff.
Yeah, it's in the concept art for Epic Universe, it looked a lot closer to the models that they had for this, where it still has the Donkey Kong area.
Why didn't they just get rid of Minions stuff for this?
Because Minions are still huge in Japan.
Awesome.
Yeah, how could it not be? As in,
I mean, like, I understand how disappointing it is to just be like Super Mario stuff for a lot of people, but like as a colossal Mario fan, I am ecstatic.
Yeah, no, I don't think they should have done it any other way. Yeah, I don't think they should.
That's the safest thing to do.
Yeah, I don't think they would have or should have done it any other way.
I'm desperate for like a Luigi's Mansion like Buzz Lightyear style ride where you like fucking
imagine the exterior. Imagine what they could do with the exterior.
It'd be so cool. Yeah, it'd be their version of Haunted Mansion.
I want to see here this where all the scaffolding is going to be the big metal Bowser head.
Yeah,
and that's going to be where you walk through to enter the Mario Kart ride.
Real fire at you.
Yes, it kills you.
Whoa, I want to die.
But I want to know, you see this pathway leads through to this door, but that door doesn't lead to anything. So I wonder, what is this for? Where does this lead?
It leads to the car park.
You just head on out.
The Mario car park.
Welcome to the Mario car park.
You have to get your license.
You've heard of Mario Kart?
Well, I just thought about something which I never even thought about. The fucking walk around characters are gonna be fucking sick.
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder if they do Princess Peach, if they're also gonna do it as a mascot costume with a grotesque massive head, or if they're just gonna have a woman dressed up as Princess Peach.
They'll definitely just have it as a woman dressed up as Princess Peach.
Yeah, because
dressed up Rosalina.
oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because Universal, as we've discussed in the past, Universal cannot make mascot costumes.
No, they cannot.
Pull up, Josh, pull up the Vector from Despicable Me mascot costume.
That already sounds frightening.
It is my favourite mascot costume at all of Universal.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, come on, no, I want the one from the parks. Don't just give me fucking... There he is! There he is, my beautiful boy.
So good.
What about the old Nickelodeon ones?
The Nickelodeon ones are fine.
Did they? Yeah.
Okay. I think the Patrick Star one's the one that really freaks me out. Oh, Jimmy, egg up and a bike.
Well, that one. You like that?
Yeah, I love the Jimmy Neutron costume. It is.
You like that?
Oh, so good. So good. Don't they have because they're all from the Nickelodeon Hotel, don't they have like Timmy Turner ones and stuff?
You know what? I have no idea. And at some point I'll look it up.
Nickelodeon Hotel. Go on with the next story. I'll just.
The next story is, I believe, the final one.
Whoa.
Actually, no. I'll do this one first because it's more Nintendo Land stuff. It's just more footage of the of Nintendo Land, and this one's really interesting because it has a little man. There's an actual human man there, so you can get an idea for how big this stuff actually is. Like one Goomba is the size of this man's torso and
look at him wibble.
I know.
The only like complaint I have is like they're not as fluid as they could be, but like they're background elements. It doesn't matter.
They'll be so far away in person, I imagine. And there's so many of them, you can't focus on one.
I've chucked an image of Cosmo and Wanda into live chat.
Oh boy, I'll take a look.
Oh, disgusting.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, Universal can't do mascot costumes.
This is what.
Would there be a Yoshi meet and greet?
Oh, I hope so.
Actually, they couldn't because. I was just gonna say they couldn't because they wouldn't be able to have multiple Yoshis, but at the same time, Yoshi's just a species, so.
Yeah. So Facebook themselves just leaked their event is on Wednesday, but they themselves just leaked their Oculus Quest 2 intro video. We now know a lot about the Oculus Quest 2.
Do we know how much it is?
No, we don't. But we do know what's different about it to the Oculus Quest 1. And I'll be honest, the fact that it's called the Oculus Quest 2 carries a certain amount of weight, and I don't feel like this delivers. This feels more like an Oculus Quest S, or like a, I don't know, what do phone companies call, like, slight upgrades?
Plus Pro.
Yeah, Pro. It feels more
Gamer
like that
edition
than an Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah, but two, you know, it's like the Pixel 2 isn't a 2 compared to the Pixel 1.
I guess, yeah.
It's the mobile phone model rather than the console model.
Yeah. Yes, the changes with this one, an improved head strap that's supposedly much more comfortable and much fits much more many more head sizes, as well as being more compact, which is good because one of my major problems with the headset is that the head strap is so rigid you can't like fold it up or make it smaller. It's the first headset using the XR2 Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 platform. I didn't even know that they'd released a second generation of the XR platform. I didn't know that it has any devices used XR1. Am I out of the loop? But they've released an XR2 and this is using it. It's got 6 gigabytes of RAM compared to the 3 or 4 that the Quest 1 had. It's nearly 4K. It has just under 2K per eye. So it's nearly 4K. Wow. It goes up to 256 gigabytes of built-in storage, whereas the Quest 1 only went up to 120. What was that?
What's the refresh rate?
The refresh rate is... they said it has the fastest refresh rate of any of their headsets yet, but they haven't said exactly what it is. All we have to go on right now is this 2-minute video.
Faster than the last one.
It could literally just be 1.
What I see, the only thing that I struggle with VR headsets is my glasses never fit in them. I don't know if like Oculus sells like lenses that can be prescription or not.
You can order your headset with prescription lenses in it, but then obviously no one else would ever be able to use it except you. Yeah.
Also, people
but there's also like independent companies to get the specifications and like,
yeah, but again, you have to send it off to that company and they replace the lenses in the headset. Yeah.
That's the thing. They need it to be replaceable because like. Yeah. Sure, it'd be great for me to never have to wear glasses, but I would be the only one who could use
the headset. Yeah, I because my glasses aren't very big, I'm fine using just the glasses separator. Most of the time, I don't even need to use that, except for if I'm doing something particularly strenuous.
Yeah.
But I know your glasses are bigger than mine.
For me, it's just it's less it's annoying having to wear the glasses, and it's more that I never feel close enough. Yeah. I always feel really disconnected, so I can never get immersed.
I don't know if that's your glasses' fault. I think that's just the Oculus's fault because the nose hole is so big. Like, and
it also doesn't. The Quest has a 90-degree field of view, which isn't very big in general.
Yeah. I just mean more that I feel like I'm physically too far away from the screen.
Yeah, they haven't talked about the field of view on this one yet, but hopefully we'll hear more about that on Wednesday. It also has 3D positional audio. It is the first Oculus standalone headset to have that, and I didn't know that.
That there are.
Yeah. One thing I find interesting when I watch this video is they keep showing clips of the controllers, and it has this like little pad here. But all the way through this video, they don't say what this is. I don't know what that is. Is that just a place to like rest your thumb? I guess.
Use the touch.
I thought that, but they've got like a joystick. I think it might just literally be a place to rest your thumb so you're not pressing any of the buttons.
Yeah, to be fair, I think that's probably a good plan because I always end up resting my thumb on the joystick.
I do, yeah.
So that will trigger things in games if you've got your thumb tense, like what it thinks is tense, which is literally nothing.
So I can't think of a situation. Oh, what was that, Kaden?
Oh yeah, just a little divot, just for comfort.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I can't think of a situation where I would want the Quest to be, like, a headset to be portable, especially because it's still going to be a compromised experience at the moment. But, you know, I also don't have a headset, so I don't know how revolutionary it is to be able to play a headset on the go and
because I travel to my parents' place a lot. It's very useful for me. Because I did literally just being able to.
I just don't have the room for VR. That's all it is.
Yeah. What else? I'll just go through the rest of the stuff. They've slightly redesigned the controls, as you can see, to make them more ergonomic. No, like, technological changes at all. Literally just ergonomics. Hand tracking is fully built in from the ground up, and they're going to launch it with games and applications that actually allow you to use hand tracking. Because at the moment there aren't any. What else?
It's going to be like the biggest thing that they can add, to be honest.
See, I maintain that, like, if you're going to do hand tracking, you need to have gloves, because you need buttons. You cannot, like, there's only so much you can do with gestures. Like, with what they've already got with the hand tracking at the moment, if you want to go out of a game into the Oculus menu, you have to face this part of your hand towards your face and then do like an OK symbol, which is an extremely uncomfortable position. And the reason for that is because they can it's one of the only positions they can guarantee you can't make by accident.
Why don't they just release the next one with like some sort of wristband with buttons on it?
Yeah, easy.
Because you already had a UR to control the moment.
So I don't know if they still are, but it was gloves with, like, you get those like cold snap things where you snap the coin and the crystals like turn into like heat stuff. It was kind of that same technology where it was like reactive crystals that go solid depending on what's in the game. So like if you were holding a gun or something, it would have a little bit of pressure on your hand, so you wouldn't be able to squeeze as far, but obviously you would still be able to squeeze through if you really needed to.
Yeah, but those were very cumbersome, weren't they? They were very...
I don't know. I didn't read into it too much, but
I did.
Like a good example of like getting the tactility in.
I've talked about this on the show before, but a few months ago, Oculus was playing around with a set of wristbands that they weren't full-on controllers. They just had one button on each, but they also had tracking lights in the bands themselves, and it was like a hybrid of the controller tracking and hand tracking, and it tracked. It meant that it would always track where your hand is, even when it can't see your individual fingers. So it's sort of like, even if you can't get the detail of what you're doing with your fingers, it can still know where you're trying to reach. And I'm not sure if it seems like they've not gone forward with that because they've just using the same controllers as last time. But it might be that they're just going for this incremental change, and then they're going to make a big change on a different headset. Who knows?
The Oculus controllers are so comfortable, though.
They're really nice controllers.
They have to, because you have to hold them in that way.
Yeah. I hope that the Oculus thing on Wednesday, we hear more about what was that thing they announced last year that was clearly just them being like, whoa, VR chat's pretty cool. What if we made VR chat? Horizons. Facebook Horizons. Because they were like, we'll be releasing it in 2019. And it's still not out.
Wait for the Quest 2 to come out.
I guarantee that on Wednesday they'll be like, well, we know you guys have all heard about it already, but we're gonna do this anyway, and then they'll say,
I mean, in a way, it's a good marketing tactic because at least no one else has leaked it. Then they've controlled when the leaks happen. But also,
they didn't leak this on purpose. I mean, they might have, who knows? But it seemed very accidental. They removed it 2 minutes after it went public.
But Josh, if they leak this on purpose, it kind of sucks for Oculus that they only got 50k views this re-upload.
Yes, it does.
It shows that there isn't much of an interest in the Quest.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's probably less than it's less that people just haven't seen it, and there's not many
there's still VR's still a very hard thing to get into, and it's still very much a feeling in the general game buying audience. Well, the general public, that it's not only that it's just a gaming peripheral, but that it is like, oh, you need a high-powered PC. Like, the whole point of this is that you can get those same experiences without a high-powered PC. And with the XR2 platform, I mean, I know the XR1 was very impressive, but the XR2 platform and 6 gigabytes of RAM, I think we are all going to be surprised at what the Quest 2 is going to be able to run. Because I was very impressed with some of the demos that Qualcomm did of the XR1 platform. So I can only imagine what they've done with XR2. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say on this. It's just the fact that it's only 2 days away that they're actually going to talk about this stuff. So, like, everything we say, we just be, let's see what they say on Wednesday, you know?
Yeah.
Sure. I guess it's just one more step to making it more accessible, because even though VR's being for a while, it's still not like, oh yes, now I can get a VR headset.
Yeah. The real telling thing on how successful this will be, though, of course, is the price. Because one of the big things that pushes people away from the Quest is that, like, if you just look at the Quest, it doesn't, like, it's such an unrealistic thing. Like, there's no way it should work, and no one's gonna drop like £500 on something they're suspicious of. Like, I was suspicious of it. I got one, but even now I'm like, how does this fucking thing work? Like, it's fucking witchcraft. And my worry is that this is going to be even more expensive, because it's got the custom storage. It's got the XR2 platform. It's the first one to use it. That's basically a custom platform.
But
it's got a bigger battery. It's got the biggest screens.
But they're probably going to price drop the old model if they keep selling it.
Yeah, that's very true. It's possible that they'll just price drop the old model.
I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's been reports of the original Quest being removed from stores, so this might be like a replacement, and they just price match it, if not just put it up by like 30 quid or something.
It's been rumored a lot that this one is going to cost the same amount as the original Quest, which I think would be a bad move. They need to be pricing it cheaper if they want more people coming into. Oh wait, sorry, I just noticed in this video, is that a little strap for the cable, the link cable?
Yeah,
little clip.
They need the thing they need to do is they need to either make this cheaper or re-release the old model £100 cheaper and just call it the like secondary model. The other thing they need to do is they need to make the link cable to PC not be through fucking like USB-C. They need to make it more hefty and weighty, because it always felt like way too like nothing to me. It needs to be a big meaty cable that is long enough to trail on the floor.
Yeah. And also, one of the things I was very disappointed with, in the second video that they had in the post that they accidentally posted in quotes, in this video they say that the Oculus Link cable is still, you still can't use the cable included in the box as a link cable.
Why?
You need to buy a separate cable. Even with the Quest 1, the USB-C to USB-C cable that comes in a box cannot be used as a link cable. It has to be a USB 3.0 to USB-C cable.
It's so dumb.
You cannot use a USB-C to USB-C.
That doesn't bother me though, because I don't have any USB-C ports on my PC anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. Well, it just seems weird to me that they would
it's transfer
not
data
design it.
I don't think. I
Is
think
it
like
easier to transfer data over 3.0 than USB-C?
I don't think USB-C is as fast yet as a standard.
I know that USB-C
Like it's
is
faster charging, but not for data
charging.
transfer.
Yeah, it's very possible.
It's probably not their fault. I think their issue is they should just fucking put a USB 3.0 to USB-C cable in, and then say if you want fast charging, get the cable separately, because not everyone cares about fucking fast charging.
Yeah, it's true. The thing that always annoys me about the Oculus Link, and Jess, you can attest to this even more than I can. I'm sure you know. If you don't, I'll explain it now. Virtual Desktop is an application that is on the Oculus Quest store. Virtual Desktop lets you see your computer's desktop in VR. Very simple. But if you sideload a modded version of Virtual Desktop onto your Quest, you can stream VR over Wi-Fi to your Quest. Great. The thing that's annoying about it is that application, that free application, outputs over Wi-Fi a higher resolution than the Oculus Link does. And it also typically has lower latency than Oculus Link. Not by much. It's by like a matter of 0.01 milliseconds. But it's still strange to me.
It's really weird. Like, without using Virtual Desktop, I get extreme like screen downsides. I just can't focus.
Yeah, the lower resolution gives just serious... Like, it makes you sick, doesn't it?
Yeah, really bad. But through Virtual Desktop, for some reason, I don't know how it gets so much higher output, but like, it's perfect. Like, obviously, it's still a bit of screen, but it's not as bad.
Mad. That seems broken. But...
Yeah,
It
it's
does
very
seem
strange.
so broken. Like, surely going over a wire would make it better, but I guess they're just capping it for like power. I don't know.
Probably for speed.
For speed.
Definitely Steve.
Well, anyway, our final story for the day, before my throat gives out, I can feel it coming. Google's going to be doing their Made by Google event on 30th of September.
Oh, okay. So what actually is like made by Google? Like I haven't heard.
That's their physical products, like the Nest services. They're like the Google Assistant, the Google Homes, Chromecast, and obviously the phones and laptops and stuff.
Okay.
You know, the Pixel Book. Everyone loves the Pixel Book, right?
I love me a Pixel book. So many pixels, so many books.
Oh, so many.
The fucking Pixel Book is a joke.
It is.
How dare you? I love my Pixel Book.
Oh yeah, Caden. What do you love about? What's your favorite feature of the Pixel Book? Is it besides isn't it the only laptop where you can download Netflix videos to or something? I remember that being a big selling point. No, it tried to sell itself as a new MacBook, whereas in reality it was a tablet with a keyboard attached.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. I can't wait for that to be announced. Can't wait for that to be made by Google.
I'm sure they'll announce the Pixel 5 and they'll stubbornly stick by their guns of having a 2x camera instead of a wide-angle lens.
Josh, did you see the fucking Pixel 4a? I don't know if that came out.
Yeah, that's out.
But like every issue you have with the 4 was basically addressed on that model, and that's the budget model. Like they keep doing that. Like
the Pixel
3a is the budget
the
model. The screen's not as nice, but it has a headphone jack, and it's like, well, fucking. I want that one.
I don't get it. Fucking.
Didn't you say you were gonna try and switch for an iPhone, or did I imagine?
I said I was gonna. Oh wait, who are you directing at?
You, Josh.
Oh. I love the look of the iPhone 11. I think that is an amazing phone. I think it's the best phone iPhone. That's the best phone Apple has made in like half a decade almost.
I'll be honest. Like I kind of miss having an iPhone.
I just want to see what they do with the next one.
There's a lot of cool points. Like there's a lot of features locked off if you don't just have the whole family. I'm just
really scared of getting locked into Apple's ecosystem because I know that's what they do. They lock you in the.
Yeah, like it was so easy. Like even iPhone, it's like you gotta get a Mac now. You got a Mac, you want to get an iPad as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get the Google Smart Speaker. Sorry, the Apple Smart Speaker. I get the.
Yeah. I guess get Apple Arcade.
Yeah, I'll get the Apple
might be
TV,
cool.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
so
I'll buy an
pissed
Apple.
that I didn't like wait longer to get a new iPad because they've just released a 3D scan thing, and obviously I've just got into 3D modeling like a lot, so that would make life significantly easier. But I'm gonna pick up my Kinect when I get home. Hopefully I can do some stuff with that.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Well, that was the final story for the day, and before I completely perish, I'm going to say farewell, wonderful, wonderful YouTube viewers. And remember, if you are watching this on YouTube, as I know some people do for some reason, remember to subscribe, because if you don't, I'm going to actually die in real life.
Oh no!
He's going to get super ill.
I'll come murder you just so you make sure you live.
Yes. Anyway, bye.